supposed to be a 1936. It's a Hobby Lobby product, and it's called I guess it's by the Pilot classification. And I saw one of these flying out at Salem, and it flew so well, I decided, well, maybe I won't build everything from a kit for a while, you know, and so I bought this. And I took it to the field, and it flew quite well, with one exception. It seems to have, Dave will back me up on this, it seems to have a tendency to want to fly with the left wing in a knife edge position. And even though it's got a generous amount of side thrust and down thrust, I found it kind of tricky. And of course, I've cartwheeled it a couple of times, and that accounts for some of the stress marks in the wings. And I did have to rebuild them a little bit because the way they've designed this, they made the structure very, very light, but instead of having, for example, a regular straight piece of trailing edge, they scalloped it out between the ribs. So it makes it very weak, and I don't know why they did that, because the amount of weight saving would be negligible, but the weakness is quite present. Anyway, it was a very nice kit. It went together well. The only thing that I found was, in the beginning, was that it's got a lock-on cowl. It has kind of a key, like a key shape, 4 points on the firewall, and you push this on and turn it, and it locks on. Well, the only problem is, in the air, it began to unlock. And I landed it, and I found out I was just plain lucky that it didn't chew up the front of the cowl, and it had literally come on. So anyway, I've got it ready to go again, and I haven't quite figured out what to do about this this left wing being low. Now, Dave suggested some weight, and I did try to balance it out that way. And I may have to preset the upper ailerons just a little bit. I didn't hook them up to work with the lower ailerons because I wanted it to be a little less sensitive than it would be with them all four working. And so maybe that wasn't a good idea, I don't know. But anyway, we'll have to give it another shot. It's as I say, it's a very pretty airplane, and they did a nice job getting it ready to hand over to somebody like me. But we'll have to give you a report after we try the next flight.
But was that a green models kit? I know it comes from Hobby Lobby.
Pilot-1.
Pilot.
Pilot-1 is the
Pilot,
company.
yeah.
Not a green model.
Did the
No,
full-scale airplane have ailerons on both wings, Bud?
I'm not sure. I suspect it did, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I really don't know.
Yeah, Pika makes that's a YMF-5, correct? Yeah, because you got the open cockpit Waco.
Yes.
Yeah, the cabin Waco is, I believe it's 4 ailerons.
Okay.
They call this, I think, a YKS.
YKS?
YKS.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, or cabin Waco, yeah.
Yeah.
But I believe it had 4 ailerons.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are those functional wires on the tail?
Yes, they are. Yeah.
Is it fish line or?
I'm sorry?
What's the wire? Is it cable or fish line?
No,
or?
it's a piece of cable, and it does support somewhat. It's, yeah, it seems to work well. That part of the plane seems very strong. The upper wing takes all the damage when it cartwheels, and the nose, I punched the motor mount in a couple of times already. So, but
Did you put a screw on either side of the cowling to keep it from that turning, maybe?
well, what I had to do was locate a screw in the bottom. You see it?
Okay, yeah.
Because it had a tendency to rotate
Right.
and unhook.
Yeah.
So,
That'd be embarrassing.
That was embarrassing. So otherwise, they didn't provide for a instrument panel. I thought that was kind of silly, where you have you can see right in there. So I put an instrument panel in it. But I did have a little slightly less powered motor in it. And it flew quite well, but I figured there must be something wrong with my formula, so I called the company and I said, what do you recommend for this particular kit?
Yeah.
And they said, oh, well, you should have, they told me what it was, so I said, send one along. So I put it in, and it still doesn't seem to improve the flying quality at all.
Now, it rolls off on one wing, you
Yeah.
say? Yeah.
Yeah. And I keep putting generous amounts of right rudder in,
Yeah,
and of course I have the ailerons coupled
yeah,
with the rudder,
yeah.
so you would think it would be very easy to fly, and it's giving me a hard
Yeah,
time.
it's heavy on, some of them is heavy, if you hold it by the spin of
Yeah.
the rudder, it dips
Oh,
consistently to one side.
We tried that, and so I've got it balanced so that it's straight, but even so,
It wants to roll to the left.
to the left.
It's torque, no?
Is this a candidate for the weight on the wingtip?
Yeah, I've got a
Thing
feeling.
is taky.
Hey, he's got it. He's got it.
You already did.
Yeah. And
Is that what the formula calls for, that amount of
no,
weight?
no.
There's a
It's,
formula for the weight of the airplane, and then it gives you the weight you should put on the wingtip, okay? And it should stop the left yaw.
well, I'm
This-
just gonna
this-
have to try it.
It's not a result of that, it's because
It's
the,
this, that's rolling.
He's going this way.
It says rolling.
Oh, he's rolling.
Right.
Yeah, it wants to fly in this position.
yeah, that's because it's out of balance without
That's
the
right.
weight on it.
The left wing proved to be quite heavy
Yeah.
compared to the right.
Yeah.
So, with a series of strings, I suspended it and made sure that it was sitting level. But I haven't tried it. We'll have to give it a shot.
You know, there might be a warp in the wing somewhere.
Yeah,
I looked-
washout or something,
I
I'm
looked at
thinking.
that, and they've got the wing struts pretty, you can see that they're pretty straight. I was looking for a problem with warps, and that doesn't seem to be present. So I thought maybe I should lower this left aileron just a whisker more, where it seems to be having that kind of a problem.
This, right behind this strut, it goes like this.
Well, you know why? Because it's been banged up. And, oh, by the way, I called him, and I said, would there be any chance I could get some new wings? Because at the time, they were pretty beat. And so this guy says, well, hang on, I'll see what I can pirate out in our junk shop. So he came back to the phone. He says, yeah, I got a pair of wings and a new cowling. Well, this is still the old one, I fixed it. And I said, well, how much? He said, well, he says, I'd have to get $20 for the wings and $10 for the cowling. I said, ship them.
Absolutely.
So these are still the old wings. So hopefully I won't have to use them, but if I do, I got some spares.
But
Yeah.
I thought of putting a trim tab on that upper wing.
That's possible too. And you see, by lowering that upper aileron a little bit, would act as a trim tab too.
See, well,
Well, they're not
Don
connected?
did something with one of my planes. We took that aluminum that comes out of those pie plates,
Yes.
and we just cut out a trim tab and put a slot,
Mhm.
and put it in, and just kept bending it a little bit, because they weigh nothing, and
Yes.
you can bend them a little at a time.
Right.
And it finally did take it out.
Yeah. Of course, the real airplanes had trim tabs that you bent to adjust.
Yeah,
Just
Are those ailerons connected, upper and lower, or no?
In the plans, they were supposed to be.
Yeah.
But I didn't want the roll activity to be so great.
That's right.
So I just used the lower ailerons for the power
Oh, okay.
and fixed the top one. So that just fixed.
Maybe the aileron could be off. Yeah.
We've got to do a little bit of finagling to find out
Now, look, I bet you one of the ailerons.
what it needs.
Yeah, that upper aileron.
That's why it's rolling.
Yeah,
Nice airplane.
Oh, yeah.
it's a beautiful airplane.
Cabin Waco is pretty.
the price they gave you for the wings and the cowling is amazing. When you look at
Put it way out.
some of the E-flight airplanes, they give you a parts list for
Yeah.
buying replacement cowlings and wings.
Right?
My God, it's like automobiles, if you bought the parts,
Yeah.
it would cost way more than the original airplane.
I was braced for quite a price, and
Oh, yeah.
when he said $20 for the, I said, is that both wings? Oh, yeah, I said, it's a pair.
No brainer.
But what was the price of the kit?
The kit was, I think I'm telling you right, I think it was $215 complete, but it didn't have the motor with it, or the radio.
Hey, Bud,
Yeah,
next week, call them, ask if they got a fuselage.
Probably do.
Yeah.
I hope that's not prophetic.
Yeah, give me $20 for the fruit salad.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Bud.